Terraform cheat sheets, I'll call them. So overall, I was after this. I thought these were really awesome.
What you can and cannot do, just like out of the box.
Yeah. And this is the advanced one. I'll show you the other one. So this is...
So GitLab added a work item created trigger for event-driven dual agent platform flows, which enables custom triage and assignment logic as soon as an issue or task is created. A work item is created, it just basically triggers off like another agentic workflow, it seems like. I can see this kind of being like a cyclical kind of thing. So let's say we have an agent monitoring the cluster, notices an issue, files a ticket. That ticket then triggers a dual platform agentic workflow.
Welcome to another episode of DevSecOps. I'm your host, Tim, and I'm joined here by my co-host, Aakash, and we are up to, what's this, episode 9?
Episode 9, yep.
Yeah, we're try to tailor this a little bit more, get more centered in the government, so there might be some things that jump out from the commercial side of things, but again, trying to get a little bit more focused on related news to the Department of War environments that we work in. But as always, first, sir, what do we have? What's on the...
All right, today
beverage
is this one. It's a mango IPA.
Nice, 1985, sweet.
Yeah, from New Belgium. It's actually a Voodoo Ranger, New Belgium style.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I've had some of the Voodoo Rangers.
Yeah, I like
previously.
Voodoo Rangers. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they give you that good assortment pack. All right, I am doing. Let me see here.
Is that
Did we get that
Unholy?
one? Yes, we are Coppertail Brewing Company Unholy American Triple Ale.
Triple Ale, huh? Well, that'll be
Oh
a
yeah,
fun one.
oh yeah. We gonna get fired up. It's TPA, Florida, Tampa, Florida. I thought I had it. I saw where it was the other day. It's like 9 something. Yeah, all these Tampa beers. I guess it's easier. Oh yeah, 9.2. A scroll. I can't even.
This
say
one's
that.
a 6.7, so not too bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do my pour, because I like my.
Oh, you got the boot
Needed
today?
to get that triple. With that, no boots. I'm done with the boots.
Just a regular cup?
Yeah, that boot was just got too much on me. Terrible at these pours these days, though. These triples are usually. Oh man! Oh, can't see.
Oh, that's a lot of foam there.
Yeah, I know. I tried pouring on the side. It didn't work. Let's let that guy settle down. We'll drink it out of the cup.
Yep.
Rather than can.
Just had a first sip of this, so it's not bad.
Oh yeah, that's unholy. That's gonna be beautiful.
Is that a good thing or a bad
really
thing?
Good. No, good thing, I think.
Nice.
Bad thing because it's 9.5 or 9.2, and I might have to get another one before this episode's over. Let's see how much we ramble. For our audience members, we will probably leverage some AI chopping just to shorten this up some more because we tend to go off the rails and talk about all kinds of random things.
Like right now?
So we will try to keep this. Yes, we will try to keep this under wraps for you guys. So this might not even make the episode. Who knows? Well, let's get in. Episode 9, Hardening the Control Plane, Active Exploits, GitOps Guardrails, and FedRAMP's Reset.
Yep. Cool. All right. What do you got for us
from the time range, try to keep this July 19th to the 28th. I know some of these we had a little bit of break in there. Actually, let's another side tangent. Not going to let you get away with it. Anything awesome for the trip last week? So we did not get to record our weekly episode because someone was enjoying the Crusades through the European.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Started in London for a day, ate a bunch of food there, and then went over to Madrid to watch the finals with the locals. That was awesome.
I'm excited to hear that. That you sent me a picture. The video. I was insane.
Yeah. And then I was surprised that they did the parade literally right after. So we stayed an extra day and then just ended up seeing the parade there too. And that
wow.
parade was freaking awesome to see. Like, just
Now, how would
celebrating.
you rate that to, I know you've been to U.S. parades when, a specific sport team wins, how is that compared to something to that level?
Honestly, I think Spain did it really well, or like Madrid in
Okay.
general. Just the fact that it was a day after the event had actually happened, and it was pretty well organized. Like, yeah, it was a lot of people and it was chaos and stuff, but in a good way. Like,
Hmm.
people were enjoying themselves. It was fun, and the players themselves seemed like they were having a great time too. Just like on the bus as they were like kind of coming around and whatnot.
No one
Um,
burnt the city down or any of that
no
stuff.
one burnt the city down. Yeah, like I went to
Mm.
the Knicks parade and it was way more of a chaos than
Yeah.
it was in Madrid. And that was
Yeah.
4 days after they had won. So it's like, what the heck is New York doing? Right? Why did it take them
Yeah.
4 days to
Right.
set something
Right.
up?
Now, what
But
about the magnitude of people though? That's
oh,
kind of
it was
what's,
a lot.
obviously we knew there is going to be more chaos here than over there, but
Mm.
from the amount of people that came out to
To me,
support
it felt
this.
like it was more people there than the Knicks
Yeah,
parade. Like,
I would imagine. Yeah.
yeah, maybe just because I imagine a lot of people from throughout the country probably just came right into Madrid like while we were there. But
Hmm.
man, it took us forever to like get out of there at the end because it was just
Any weird like little I'm a little nervous on this situation, like too many people kind of thing.
I mean, just from I think some people we saw just passing out from like the sheer heat and like
Wow.
maybe dehydration or something. Like we saw some people having just panic attacks because you were just packed in kind of thing. So
Right.
it was just those types of things. But we saw that even at the Knicks parade too. People were just passing out from like dehydration. So
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty wild. But I mean, obviously, luckily people got them help that they needed. And at the parade in Madrid, there were lots of ambulances, lots of cops and police like everywhere. So it was very easy
Wow.
to get help. Um, but yeah, no, it was a lot of fun though. Just seeing how the locals celebrate, it was. I'm glad we had the chance to be there, like when it
Yeah,
happened.
it's like I wouldn't say once in a lifetime, but well,
I don't know when it's gonna happen
be
again, right?
over there for
Yeah,
every
yeah,
4 years and
right.
to celebrate it in the country that won it. That's
Yep,
pretty wild.
yep.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we were just in Paris for 5 days, just eating and drinking away. So can't really complain
Awesome.
about that.
What was the best food? What was the favorite meal, I guess? Like
Oh, um,
of all the rankings that you had there, I was like, yeah, I wish I could have taken this one back.
I think it was Paris, one of the Italian places that we went to. It was, man, it was amazing. Like
Yeah.
one of the truffle pastas that we had or something. Like, yeah, it was awesome. It was really good. I liked it.
Cool.
And then some of the Indian food that we had in London as well. I like London is known for its Indian food, so that's the main reason why we
Yeah.
went there. And yeah, some of that food was like really good, like to the point where we were only there for 1 day, but 3 of the meals were all just like Indian food, just because we're trying to maximize it all.
Yeah.
And by the time at the end of it, we were just so full, like we couldn't eat everything. Like, we were just stuffed. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But
That's
no,
awesome.
it was really good. Yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah. You were well missed.
Yep.
Your YouTube community had missed you for that week.
All the single digit followers.
All 16 of us. Yep. I don't know what we're actually up to now, but it's not. So please like and subscribe. Okay, let's get into some of the
Yes, onto the
DevOps
actual
related
news.
news.
All right.
So start off with GitHub Actions. Now holds potentially malicious workflows for collaborator approval. Dependabot expanded malicious package alerts using OpenSSF data, and the GitHub MCP server adopted the stateless core of the next MCP specification with backward compatibility and conformance tests. So GitHub's full of some updates there. Each one of those are individual. One of the things that, just for your update, I was trying to condense some of these bullets. So if GitHub didn't get listed 3 times, so make sure you do click on those individual links if you're going through those.
Cool. Yeah, next one, I guess, GitLab. So GitLab added a work item created trigger for event-driven duo agent platform flows, so which enables custom triage and assignment logic as soon as an issue or task is created. I think that's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah,
so
we-
now that whenever a ticket, or as they call it, like a work item is created, you could just basically triggers off like another agentic workflow. It seems like I see this kind of being like a cyclical kind of thing. So let's say we have an agent monitoring the cluster notices an issue, files a ticket. That ticket then triggers a dual platform agentic workflow, which then starts triaging that ticket appropriately. And then I guess we'll again reply back and respond back to that agent saying, hey, it's been resolved, it's good to go, and then go from there.
Okay, so is that even similar to what you were? I know you were doing a ton of stuff with skills in the current environment you guys are working in.
Similar.
Is that similar to what you guys are doing?
Similar, but mine was not ticket driven. Mine was just
Okay.
very simple. Hey, I have a skill, go monitor the cluster, and
Yeah.
then don't stop until it's fixed, basically. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely have to start demoing that more. And we were talking before, getting ready to record this. So I'm going to start putting together a little mini series in a sense of, how do you enable a bedrock? How do you start leveraging some of these skills? And we'll do it in our commercial accounts or, our kind of lab accounts so we can start showing some of those things. But yeah, I'm going to hold you to that. We're going to definitely get some mini series going. I was going to start that when you were out last week, just to kind of sign you up for something, and you couldn't say no.
That's how it always goes, right?
Yeah, I got sidetracked and wasn't able to do that. So mini series are coming. Hopefully you guys didn't ask for it, but we're going to give it to you anyway.
Exactly.
Hardening CD released 1.159.3, added fixed pod budget, Kubernetes canaries, and named OIDC ID tokens for shell steps and Kubernetes connectors. Those workload identity features reduce the need for static cloud credentials in regulated pipeline.
So it's
just
like
leveraging more of a
short-term
token
OIDC
approach.
tokens. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which makes taking like the whole EKS pod identity approach, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. Yeah, Docker Desktop, just the typical version updates 4.83 and 4.84. Just refresh the Docker engine, compose, build, Docker agent, and hardened images components. So 4.84 fixed a high CPU hang, which was caused by invalid Docker configs. So nothing crazy or major, but yeah, probably update just to have some bug fixes getting squashed.
SonarQube Server 2026.4 added architecture management, a quality gate, and security rules for agent-generated code and a unified security issue and hotspot workflow. Its self-managed deployment remains relevant where source code cannot leave a controlled environment.
All right. Yeah, we got to get with SonarQube again. Haven't played with it in 2 years, so
yeah,
nice to see what the new features are.
Yeah, I haven't been. We're just doing a lot of the Sona type stuff, right? So I haven't really needed to. I know they had a ton of the AI coding and skills and stuff like they were putting into their workflows.
Yep. The Rancher fleet got updated to 0.16.0, which introduced a policy resource that restricts service accounts, credential secrets, and source repositories for multi-tenant GitOps. Release also stops forwarding Helm repo credentials unless the target URL matches Helm repo URL regex, which is a breaking hardening change. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So basically, you can add in restrictions for certain types of resources or policies to restrict certain types of resources and what they can and cannot access.
All right. Argo CD, so fixed application set patch fallback, webhook owned field diffs, Helm password hardening, and OIDC refresh token behavior. The sign release candidate includes cosign verification and SLSA level 3 provenance, but remains pre-production.
So Sonatype Nexus Repo just fixed a couple CVEs in the newest version. So if you have a version, let's say, so one high CVSS of 8.6 affected all 3.x versions, whether it's on Community Edition or Pro, before 3.92. So Sonatype's mitigation is go to 3.92 or later, plus restricting the privilege to trusted administrators only. There was, I guess, an issue with that.
Yeah, new vector vulnerability reporting. So new vector 5.6.0 added critical CVE security support for CVSS v3 scores for 9.0 to 10.0. Most of all these are all covering a lot. I don't think there was anything around features. So yeah, I don't want to dive too much into these guys. These were all CVEs. So again,
Yeah,
you guys
exactly.
can read through these if needed.
Mm-hmm.
GKE release cycles, EKS and AKS. That's all calling out the different release cycles. The one we did want to cover here, though, is just this looks more of like a new feature. So July 27th, so a couple days ago, GKE increased data plane v2 with network policy support of 15,000 nodes per cluster in GKE 1.36 and later, and made mixed protocol load balancer services generally available in 1.36. Yeah, .2 dash, we'll go with that GKE number, and later.
FedRAMP has been making a lot of changes. So I think they're going from like a whole class-based kind of system. So it's like a Class A, Class B, Class C, and Class D to signify like the readiness of your system. So I think
and is that changing out like your lows, moderates, and highs? Like is that
something like
tiering
that.
of it? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know the exact details of it, but yeah, I know they're changing around a bunch of the way everything is classified and how you are labeled as for your readiness kind of score. So then I think the last time we also, I don't know if we had a chance to talk about it, but then there was another mandate that came out too recently saying for CMMC specifically that you don't have, that there's a pause on 3 PAO assessments or something, revamp some of the controls just so it's easier for like the smaller kind of companies and more startups to get into the game itself. Like getting a CMMC accreditation is very expensive and you need a lot of manpower just from all the processes and the paperwork that's required and just from a compliance level. So I think they're trying to change a lot of that stuff around so it's much easier for kind of anyone, or not anyone, but much easier for like a smaller kind of company.
Yeah, small business, someone that has a really good product in a sense, and wants to be able to show that off. They're not going to have the cybersecurity manpower. They're not going to have the infrastructure admins that are going to be able to understand, you know, the STIGs and the different compliance items that you need to throw at these things. Yeah. Again, we don't want to dive into each one of these. Some of these are pretty dry. But if they're up your alley, definitely take a look at those.
Industry news, exciting stuff.
Yeah, it even, I would say, second exciting stuff. I want to. There's some of the tools I want to get into. So I don't want to breeze over these a little bit, but. Yeah, I'll cover the first one. So Accenture Federal Services Department of War announced an up to $820 million war data platform core integration award to Accenture Federal Services through GSA CapEx. The platform standardizes data products and analytics across hundreds of DoW resources to support systems, users, and agentic AI applications.
Yeah, quickly, the DoD awarded Oracle an enterprise software agreement worth up to $7 billion over 10 years, covering the department, intel agencies, and Coast Guard. The deal consolidates software procurement and is framed around interoperability, cyber risk reduction, and operation across classification levels. So, yeah, I guess it's the modernization effort, I guess, from the DoD side.
Yeah, but man, I know there's a ton of Oracle out there.
There is.
Yeah.
There's a ton of Oracle out there, but I have yet to like find someone who likes working with that.
I'm gonna say that's why I started with my just unenthusiastic approach to Oracle. Right? It's just like we're paying what, but I get it. That's a me. I would say we're doing a lot of. I wouldn't say cutting edge work, but you know, modern type of stuff. So getting into the containers, getting into Kubernetes deployments and such. That's not what a lot of these systems are built on. We're blessed in the sense of kind of working with some of the newer technologies. So
for sure,
we don't feel the pain of all you Oracle folks out there. So
have you worked with Oracle like from a government standpoint?
Only migrating from it. Okay. So how do we get off of it? Everything I've ever done it's just been how do we get off of it?
Yeah.
So sorry, I don't think we're going to get sponsored by Oracle for this podcast.
I've only used their personal like stuff, and only because Oracle does have a really good free tier. So I was like,
Okay.
oh, for personal projects, that's fine. But I don't know, it was just clunky. Maybe that's just me because I'm so used to AWS and how it works. So I was just kind of, using that as a benchmark, and probably shouldn't be doing that. But I don't know. Found AWS to be much easier to get into.
I'll click on this one. So the next two links, I'll click back real quick. So AWS talking about OneGov, and then GSA OneGov IT partners. So more or less, what is it? So OneGov's strategy is comprehensive plan to transform how government buys almost everything. Instead of hundreds of separate agency contracts, we leverage the collective purchase power of the entire federal government to secure unprecedented discounts while ensuring consistent security standards and simplified access. The only reason I think we threw that in there is it sounds like maybe a term we're going to potentially hear a little bit more. So it sounds like they're putting I got to reform around how, things are purchased and where they're deployed from, and trying to get more of that enterprise agreement approach. So, this link talks through everything about OneGov and what that is actually about. But new term to me, so I just wanted to kind of throw that in there.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it either.
Okay.
Makes sense, but yeah, from what it's saying.
Okay. And then the next are just some awards that are called out, so you can click on through some of those links.
Going back to the OneGov thing, it kind of sounds like it's like a FedRAMP marketplace type of approach, right?
I almost thought it as exactly that, a strategy. I don't know. I didn't really see that. I thought it as, here's we're going to put a name around this, and this is going to be an effort that we would go to try to implement. And we just basically just almost like a community
or I guess not like
practice.
Not like FedRAMP marketplace, but maybe more like like the Tradewinds type of stuff.
Okay.
Or like a Tradewinds marketplace. Like, hey, here's a application that
here's your catalog. So if it made it into OneGov, then you've already got your enterprise agreement to purchase things. You know how it's going to be deployed. There's a central location potentially that it's going to get deployed out to. Okay.
Yeah. That's kind of what it sounds like, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. We can go on the fact sheet, but that might be
very dry, and I don't think I have enough beer for that.
I bet. But yeah, I'm not even clicking on it because it's going to render a huge PDF. All right, let's get into some community news, some fun stuff.
Yep.
And I wouldn't even say necessarily fun stuff, but just these aren't brand new earth-shattering topics to talk about what was announced, but just overall. Getting a few, I noticed a few, playbooks in the sense that we can look at. So the first one, Helm chart, production, again, a Medium article, and want to make sure we give them the credit where credit's due. So first part of it, I thought was actually pretty good. Just kind of talking about some of the basics on Helm. I'm skimming through this quickly because I wanted to get more down into what I thought was nice about this blog post was the checklist. So again, we've you may have worked in Helm for a while, but this was some good things to kind of introduce, and I see these potentially as like, hey, how could we turn these into skills or agents as well? So, feeding this into something and says, Kubernetes version is within 2 minor versions of the latest stable. Yeah, like a lot of these are very best practice. I know there's a handful in here that I'm not even doing in some of the workloads. So there was a handful or a lot of checklist items that I thought were cool to cover. So again, jump into this and then scroll down a little bit. Obviously, read the whole article because there's probably a lot of good content in there. But the main reason of showing this off was going through some of this checklist stuff.
Yeah, no, I think we could definitely benefit from something like this, especially because we build like our own Helm charts, like a library chart. And then like a downstream example chart that people can reference as well. So baking that into like a generic like template, I think it would be awesome. And then so like the app teams themselves don't ever have to worry about it because they're just inheriting it from the platform as a whole.
Right.
So,
But then on top of it, building an agent that or skill again anything AI related in our pipeline that would be able to go and do this fact checking against it, saying, hey,
absolutely.
you don't pass because you didn't do, you've got a credential hard coded. All right, no one's going to do that. But picking anything off this list, there's a handful that most people do overlook that would be beneficial in here. So
I think it's a good just checklist that they have laid out here.
Right.
That these are the things
lay
you
it
should
out
always
for
check
the developers so that they know what they should be developing against. But then we have that as a stopgap within our pipeline to say you missed this, and this is we consider this critical. So go on. I'm just giving you more ideas to build skills. That's all. So I just plant some seeds and then you go do some awesome stuff with it.
I mean, I already have ideas churning after reading all that stuff. So
there you go. That was the point of this. If no one's listening, doesn't matter. We'll get our environment better. Tenant Plane I thought was pretty cool too. So it's a multi-tenant Kubernetes plane. I'll click on this link. You can go through it. What it seemed like they were doing was like virtualizing the control plane. So like you could deploy this to your cluster, but then in a sense, it almost like emulated mini clusters within your clusters so that you could start isolating. At least that's how I read it. We probably should click on the link and dive into it more. But that's I thought.
What would be the benefit of that? Like,
I guess having more of that. I don't know. I mean, probably things that you could do from a namespace perspective, but would it isolate further than just that, right? So maybe for a SaaS application, this might be beneficial where they can build one large kind of scale out cluster, but then these mini clusters could live in there, and that we always make sure that we would never accidentally accidentally open up something that client A can see client B. That's what I see this as.
Yeah.
Or that's how I read it.
I guess it's more of how like EKS kind of does it. But then again, we never see the control plane on EKS, so why would you want to give your tenants
right, you don't. And I'm not saying it, I'm just saying they virtualize the control plane so it acts as though it's another cluster completely isolated. So like right now you could do an EKS cluster. If you don't have the right network policies in place, namespaces can talk to each other.
Fair.
But on this cluster, if I virtualize another cluster then I can ensure isolated. That client A will never see client
B. That's fair.
Because they're all in basically a completely different environment, even though it's on the same back-end environment. So you're able to reduce your cost, but still have that same level of isolation that if you required to have you had to be on your own cluster, then this could be better.
That makes sense. Yep.
I'll talk. These next two as well. So I like
Terraform.
these. These are the Terraform cheat sheets, I'll call them. So not much a little bit to the blog itself, but overall I was after this. I thought these are really awesome. Make them a little bit bigger. Oop.
Yeah, it's a good graphic on just like a quick overview on Terraform and what you can and cannot do, just like out of the box.
Yeah, and this is the advanced one. I'll show you the other one. So this is the building blocks. So someone that's brand new to Terraform, bring this guy up here. It's not playing nice with me if I try to scroll. Okay, well, you get the idea. But what are the different steps? On init, plan, apply, destroy. We all know that. But if you're new to Terraform, this is a good starter. But it calls out the different variable blocks. I thought that was pretty good. Yep. So this is probably more the entry level one. And then I've never really played around with Terraform workspaces all that much. So this is probably a good prelude to that. Is go and work with it. So again, something cool to print out, leave on your desk. I thought those were good to share. Let's see. The rest of these are. Oh, here was
Open Choreo was another interesting one, right?
Yeah, you want to take that one. I don't know much of it. The rest of these are all generated from some of these daily devs that I was feeding into it. So like Gondola, Open. How are you saying it?
Open Choreo.
Choreo. I would
Like
say
choreographer, but like Choreo.
Choreo. Okay.
That's how I'm reading it, because that's how it's spelled. But yeah, I don't know.
Let's see if this is all right. That's gonna all right. Oh, okay. This is the internal developer platform one.
Yeah. So it's like building out an internal developer platform. When I was looking at it, it seems like the back end is basically like Backstage, and then adding like just a bunch of features on top of it, and like a new UI and just additional enhancements. But the back end is still Backstage.
I was hoping it would give me more on what that is. Like complete open source developer platform. Okay, for Kubernetes, ready to use day one. So
yeah, right there, Backstage Power Developer Platform. In that little description, Open Choreo is a developer platform. Yeah, so it sounds neat on paper, but I don't know how easy it is to get this thing deployed and what the challenges that we would face with this.
Detailed as well.
I mean, it seems like they control the entire stack of a developer platform.
Oh, this one, I added this one too. Yeah, I read through a majority of this one. It was pretty good. It's an opinionated blog, but I thought it was actually pretty good. So it's obviously DevOps is not dead, right? But it was just kind of talking about how we've evolved over time. I think this is the one it was talking about. If you kind of read through it, it was, describing our evolution of some of the the platforms that we've built and the platforms that we maintain. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good read, so that's why I threw that one in there. It just gives you a little bit more maybe context on, we're doing the same thing that everyone else is doing, and all the pain that everyone else is feeling is the same thing. Some of the fun tools and reads, again, a handful of the first one was just the open route. This is like Cisco's version of a model router, I guess. Inkling, I won't click on this link. This was, I think this was basically like the spinoffs from some of the masterminds that were originally founded some of the OpenAI stuff. So it was always like, what are they building? What are they building? And it sounds like now they're releasing some models as well. I didn't look at the Laguna. That's just another model that's released. Popeye was pretty cool though. So Popeye scans live Kubernetes resources and reports configuration and health problems from the local CI. So
it seems like it has a pretty decent
Kubernetes
UI, I guess. Well. Yeah, or it's not even UI. It has it looks like Grafana dashboard. Yeah,
this is a neat one, I thought, and I know you have a little bit to add to this as well. So writing HTML for documentation, one of the things we've always built is, I've always done too, is once I get done coding some things or get done a new module or anything, a new tool, right? I'll feed that into AI and say, hey, build my README and build that out in Markdown. But this approach is to build everything out in HTML and provide that, because the thought is a lot of times folks clicking on this that are in a repo, they're not going to have, potentially don't want to bring up Visual Studio Code. So this is a way to write all your documentation in HTML. And then if someone does click it, they're bringing up a just a little bit more friendlier version.
And it's also an easier way to send out to people who are not familiar with writing code, right? Like senior leadership or stuff, for example, they're not writing code. So it's just easier to send them out instead of a PowerPoint deck in HTML. Everyone can open an HTML file on their laptop, right? Or from wherever, their phone, their computer, laptop, wherever it is. So I was doing this initially. Okay. And then I found out, or I realized that I'm still not solving the problem that I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to easily share out the content that I'm producing. So it's still a file that I'm passing around, whether it's through email, whether it's on Teams chat, or whatever it may be. So I took a different approach. I'm still generating an HTML, but now instead of sharing that specific HTML out, I just publish it to like a GitLab pages or something and just host it out and then send that link out to whoever I needed to. So I found that to be a little bit easier than just passing around the raw HTML file directly.
But still using HTML as your output so that you have the nicer. You
get more formatting. It looks prettier.
Formatted properly.
Exactly. It looks prettier. It's easier to read. But then every now and then I'm like, all right, I'm just going to create an HTML and throw it into like GitLab wiki or something because it's much easier.
And I mean, that's a prime example. So like here, you'll see if you don't have something that's going to render Markdown properly, this is what it looks like. Okay, it's text. But if you sent that same thing out as an HTML report, this is what it looks like. That is way more, appealing.
Exactly.
Thought that was a cool approach. So all of us out there generating Markdown, maybe we should switch to HTML. Google selfie video recovery. This was neat. I thought, it's just kind of showing the evolution to, the two-factor, right? So Google added an optional encrypted selfie video check as a backup identity signal for account recovery with the recording deletable after setup. So yeah, this was like you just created a selfie of yourself. So
right.
you said you had some experience with this?
Yeah, it says optional, but so for this YouTube channel, literally to get some of the advanced settings, capabilities to generate like the YouTube chapters to verify our identity, I had to create like a selfie video, and then it used like the camera on my phone to track my head and everything. It said it was going to delete it after like 2-3 months or something, but that was the only way for me to get an approved account saying that I am who I am. So
it seems privacy borderline there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, face recognition, that's one thing, but
yes,
now I've got to do a video of myself.
they say allegedly they're going to delete
did you
it.
have to do a dance or anything?
Yep.
No.
I also found it wasn't good. Like it said move your head in the right direction. I did. Move it in the left. I did. But then it was like, all right, you got to do it again, because no reason, just that you have to do it again. I was like, okay. But why?
Is that like the new? So did you give it like, well, even in
it wasn't like a verification, like re-enter your password kind of thing, like just a thing. It was just like, yeah, there's an error. Can you try again?
Well, I think what I'm saying is like the fingerprint stuff on like the MacBook. Like I just got one. It asked you like 8 times to set up the fingerprint.
Oh, maybe.
Like, all right, try again.
Yeah.
All right, try again.
Yeah,
all right, try.
maybe.
Not so it's just constantly trying to make sure that it's you, right?
Yeah.
It's not gonna. So like maybe that's why
I'm sure it's generating multiple data points on different types of scenarios and face movements and whatnot. So it knows who I am. But yeah, it says optional there, but that was not optional. That was the only way for us to get the chapter stuff done
for YouTube.
Right? For YouTube,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Flux 3. So Black Forest Labs introduced an early access multi-model model that jointly learns from images, video, and audio to build a shared representation for visual generation. Next one I thought was pretty neat, though, was Screenpipe. So Screenpipe is a local first source available desktop memory layer that captures screen and audio context for search and agent workflows using local OCR and transcription.
Oh, that I'm definitely
so basically. Yeah. So like leveraging screen capture to build out all these different skills that we're doing. Both Codex and Claude now support that as a plugin. So I've been using the Codex plugin. I saw there was a couple actually on here. I just removed them because they were kind of redundant, but Claude does that now too. So you can bring up Claude Code, and there's a plugin skill, whatever you want to call it, that you can enable. And then it will go and read. So you could do a record, then it'll go record you doing whatever function you're doing, and then builds a skill out of that. Pretty wild. And it was accurate. I was doing stuff where it was with at least Codex. I think I chatted about this already on one, but it was doing my just doing some different like foreclosure websites for real estate, right? I was going through scraping that, giving it so there's multiple environments. So it was like, hey, so I even added on. It's like I showed it how to do it, and then I said, go do it for the 5 other weeks that are up there, and then email it to me. And I mean, one shot, and it did it. It was. And I didn't tell it. Like I brought it up. I did that. I had it trained on, or I showed it how to send an email with my email address, and then what I wanted to link in there, and then I said, use this skill and do it for all the other environments, and sent me an email in a couple minutes. I was like, wow.
Cursor's router automatically selects among supported models using cost, balance, intelligence modes, and administrator controls over which models are available. To be honest, I thought Cursor already had something like this, but because I know LightLM has that for sure baked into it, but I thought Cursor would have had it from the get-go. But maybe there's just an improvement on what it already had. But yeah,
I think that's what all of them are doing now. Like even ChatGPT has been like, hey, if you want to select your model, otherwise auto, and it does any of that.
Yep.
Which, by the way, I think this is also the initial generation of this was on 5.6 Sol, but I think when I switched computers, that one was still on 5.5. So
okay.
We may have been able to have better content for you folks.
Okay.
But I muffed and missed checking the right model.
Merlin adds a browser sidebar for working with multiple AI models and summarizing web pages, documents, and videos without leaving the current tab.
I felt that was almost like an extension in a sense.
Yep, it is Merlin AI.
Yeah, there you go, Chrome Store. So yeah, you could bring up Merlin probably.
But I mean, I use Brave, and Brave does that by default as a baked in already. So I guess for other browsers, good enough. Cool.
No more. So that is it. Nothing else to cover. I know that was we gotta.
Then the last thing. How would you rate it?
I liked it.
How would you rate yours?
I like the unholy. Oh, let me see here.
Yep.
Capital unholy. Good. Very good. I know I gave a 4.5 the last time. I'm gonna go 4.6.
Okay.
Because it was better.
Yeah. Nice.
Like
nice.
I might have to have another one.
Yeah. This one was good. I like this. It says mango IPA, but I don't really taste the mango, really, to be honest.
Okay.
But I would go to a good 4. 4.3. 4.3.
All right.
Yeah, I would definitely get it again for sure. But then again, it's a Voodoo Ranger, and I like all the Voodoo Ranger stuff, so I'm not surprised by that. It's a pretty good one.
All right.
I think that's it, right?
It is.
All right.
Stop my sharing.
Yep.
Yeah. So thanks again for listening to us this long. We'll try to chop this up a little bit so you guys don't have to listen to. I don't know how many. Do you have a time on this one?
I do. 53 minutes.
50. Oh man, way over. All right. Well, hopefully we could do some better editing, and this 53 minutes will be a lot shorter time.
Yes.
So. But thanks again. Subscribe, like, that helps us out. Throw some comments in there, even if it's like, hey, we talked too long, or I want to see some certain things. All right. Till next week.
Thanks for listening and watching. Till next time.
DevSecOps. We are live, right?
Yep.
Okay. Welcome to another episode of DevSecOps, episode 19.
19. I thought we were episode 9.
We're 9. I was screwed. I'm gonna cut all that out.
Take 2.
Welcome to another episode of DevSecOps. I'm your host, Tim, joined by my co-host, Aakash, and we are going to discuss our industry news and related topics Take 3. I want to definitely have enough content. So
I thought it was fine up until the last sentence.
Rambling. I didn't even get a beer yet. All right, let's start that again.